Hi guys, what's up? Tori here. So I am here today to basically just give you a 1 month update on me and on little Miss Braylee over here. She's just chilling in the swing. She's asleep at the moment. But so that's why I'm kind of filming over here so that way I don't have to move her at the moment because it's getting kind of close to her feeding time. So I'm afraid if I move her then she'll want to eat, and I kind of want to quick do this video before um she needs to be fed. But anyway, I just want to do this update. So I'm going to first just kind of do all the updates on me because there's not really a whole lot on me to update with. For me, 1 month postpartum, my bleeding is pretty much done. I really don't have any more at all. I was kind of like spotting off and on for a little bit, like in the last like week or so, but now I'm really not having like anything anymore at all. There's no more pain. I was having a lot of itching for a little bit there, which that's just a sign of healing because of the sutures, because I did tear. But I'm not having any of that anymore. I'm actually feeling really, really good. And I've even started doing some very like light exercises, like nothing crazy because I haven't been like technically cleared to like do like full on like big workouts and stuff like that. So I've just been doing some kind of like small little exercises that aren't like super strenuous or anything, but just kind of little things just to kind of start getting my body back into a bit of a rhythm with that. Um, so I can start losing some of the baby weight. And as far as that goes, my weight that I had the very first time I stood on the scale after having her was 183. And then I weighed myself a week later. I was still 183. And then actually this past Saturday, I stood on the scale and I was 179. So I have lost 4 pounds. Now. So that means I only have about 14 pounds to go before I'm back to my pre-pregnancy weight, which I kind of say my pre-pregnancy weight was about 165 because that's the last number I saw on the scale before I got pregnant. But I have been, but like over the last like year, like I don't know, maybe more like 2 years, I have been bouncing between 160 and 165. So if anywhere in that zone is what I end up hitting, I'm okay with that. But 165 is my main goal to hit. So yeah, but that's not a whole lot to lose that I have to go. It's just going to take some work and probably time because I definitely am going to need Michigan weather to be cooperative so I can do things like go for a walk and actually get back into running because I really want to get back into running too. But I obviously don't want to take her outside right now because it's Michigan and it's cold and she hates being cold, and obviously I don't really want to take her out in the freezing cold if I don't have to anyways. So yeah, but yeah, so that's just kind of everything with me wise. Like I said, and pretty much all I'm really doing to try and like stay on top of my weight is just kind of get back into a really good healthy eating routine and rhythm. And I try to find like little things to do around the house and stuff like as much as I can so I'm not just sitting all day. And like I said, I've been trying to do like some small little exercises and stuff just to try and kind of, be somewhat as much as I can. But yeah, so that's everything with me. So now I'm just going to update on Braylee. I don't know how much Braylee weighs or how big she actually is now, but I would definitely estimate that she's anywhere between the 6 and 7 pound zone by now. Because she was, the last time we were actually at the doctor, she was 5 pounds 11 ounces. So I would say she's definitely, and she was at 18 inches too. And I would definitely say she's probably, I mean, maybe lengthwise hasn't grown a super ton since then, maybe a little. But definitely weight wise, I think she's probably put on more. She's, like I said, I would put her anywhere between the 6 and 7 pound zone by now. Because she's definitely a true newborn size. She's in all newborn clothes now. We took her out of the preemies a couple weeks ago. Actually, now she's been in newborns for about 2 weeks now. And she's even in the newborn diapers, not using the preemie diapers anymore either. She's in all newborn stuff. And she has been doing honestly really good at night. She only wakes me up like twice throughout the night. It's usually somewhere between 12 and 1 o'clock that she wakes me up the first time, and then usually somewhere between 4 and 5 that she wakes me up the second time. And then the next time we get up usually is anywhere between 7 and 8 in the morning, and that's usually just kind of our wake up for the day. Like, because then usually in the mornings is when she's like the most awake. She has like a really big awake time in the morning, and I'll usually feed her and we'll do like a little like playtime on the floor. Like I'll lay her on the floor and on a little play mat that I have for her, and I'll also do some tummy time with her and stuff like that. At least that's what we've been doing as of lately. We did have one day, this past Saturday actually, we went to my aunt's house so I could help her do some baking for Christmas. And a bunch of my family was also over there, and they were obviously wanting to hold her and stuff, and she was being passed around quite a bit. And it definitely, I think, overstimulated her some, because then definitely the next day she was pretty fussy a lot the next day. And then we had like 2 nights where she had a hard time wanting to lay down to go to sleep at night. Like, it took me having to like really rock her and convince her to go down, and it even took me having to eventually just kind of lay her down and let her fuss it out until she fell asleep too, a couple of times. But since after those first couple of nights, like now she's been doing fine again and hasn't been too bad. We'll maybe fuss it for like a teensy weensy bit right before she falls asleep, but it's just kind of like a whimper kind of fuss, like not like a full-on screaming, whereas she was doing a full-on screaming. So and we are, even though like with COVID and everything, like we are still doing small, really small gatherings for Christmas, just a very small gathering. We're doing one small get together with my family and one very small get together with Matt's family, and that is it. And where all precautions are being taken and all of that, like we're making sure everyone's healthy and everything. She's moving over there. Like I said, she might start thinking about wanting to eat soon, but so yeah, so we are still doing a couple get-togethers. Oh dear, yeah, she's gonna want to eat soon, I think. But yeah, so, but I am going to definitely limit the number of people that'll hold her. Like for my family get together, it is literally going to be like I'm going to allow my dad, my aunt and uncle, who are pretty much my second parents, and then my grandparents. Those are going to pretty much be the only people that I'm going to allow to hold her throughout the night, just to try to limit how much she's being passed so she doesn't get overstimulated so much again, so that way we have better with going to sleep at night. And then Matt's family, I'm not worried about it because there's literally only like 7 of us that get together with Matt's family, so with them I'm not too concerned about it. But with my family, like because we're a slightly bigger group, like those are, I have very specifics of like who I'm going to let hold her for the night, just because I don't want her getting so overstimulated again, because I don't want her being upset, and then I don't want us losing sleep, because we've been doing pretty good in the sleep category and I don't want to ruin that. So but yeah, and she is nursing great. Breastfeeding has been going super good ever. Like once she kind of got it refigured out, like she's been doing fantastic. Like haven't had any issues. She is definitely a little bit impatient. She sometimes doesn't always want to wait for my letdown. So there's every once in a while I do kind of have to like work it so that way it kind of lets down ahead of time, because otherwise like I said, she just gets super impatient and doesn't want to wait for the milk to let down, and will just fuss until it lets down. And then she'll sometimes make a mess of herself because it'll let down like all over her. But other than that, like she nurses fantastic. She still eats between every 2 and 3 hours. I would say usually it's around the 2.5 hour mark that she eats. Again, quite very rarely doesn't make it to 3 hours. And then at night, obviously, she's only waking me up twice, so she goes more like 3.5-ish, close to 4 hours sometimes at night, which her doctor totally said that was totally fine for us to start doing that, to allow her to go longer stretches at night, but still do the shorter stretches during the day, which is typically what she wants anyway. She usually starts letting me know when she's wanting to eat and stuff anyway. So, which as you saw, she was starting to fuss because it is starting to get to be close to her feeding time. So she'll start fussing a little bit. Like she'll do this, like she'll fuss and then go back to sleep, fuss and go back to sleep. And then when she's really wanting to eat, she'll full on cry and be like, I'm ready to eat. So, yeah, but she honestly is still a really good baby. I can't complain too much. I mean, she'll have some moments here and there where she'll be a little fussy, but that's usually the times when she's fussy is later at night, like towards the end of the night when she's just kind of like ready for the day to be done and stuff. But she overall is a good baby. I don't have any major complaints, and my healing and recovery has been going good so far. As far as when I go back to work, I am leaning towards it'll probably be at the end of January that I go back to work. I'm allowed with FMLA, which is the Family Medical Leave Act. With that, I am allowed to be off for up to 12 weeks, which means that I'm allowed to be off through February 13, and because that actually falls on a weekend, then the day that they are expecting me to for sure be back at work is on February 15th. but I don't think I'm going to stay off quite that long because I won't get paid that entire stretch if I choose to take that off. And I also don't have that much PTO or paid time off to use either, to cover that full time off. So that's why I'm thinking it'll probably be like the last weekend of January that I'll probably go back to work, is kind of what I'm leaning towards. So, because I get paid for 6 weeks, which my 6 weeks are actually going to be up in a couple of weeks. But then, because I'm allowed to be off that longer stretch, I'll probably use a little PTO and just, yeah, I'm probably going to stay off through the end of January just because I want to, make most of my time with her that I have before I go back to work. So that's why I'm kind of leaning towards I'll be off through the end of January, and then like in that last week of January is when I'm going to go back to work. But yeah, so in developmental thing wise, like I said, she's having a lot more awake time, that I've noticed for sure. And when I play with her on the floor, when she's on her back, she will roll onto her side. And there has been a couple of times in the last couple of days where she has gotten really close to rolling from her back to her stomach. Like she hasn't actually done it yet, but she's gotten close a couple of times, which like for me is like, whoa. And then as far as doing tummy time, she will definitely lift her head for little periods of time while on her tummy. Not like long periods of time, but she will lift her head like a little bit while doing tummy time and stuff. And she actually like will scoot her leg, like when she scrunches her legs up, like she'll actually like have enough force, especially if she starts getting mad, where she'll then kind of like kick her feet back, and she'll actually like push enough on the floor where she'll slide forward just ever so slightly, which is kind of like, okay, kid, like you're skipping some steps here. But it is kind of funny when that happens. Mostly on like smoother surfaces will that happen. Like if it's a more tricky surface like that she can't grip on, that won't happen. But I have noticed that. And even like if I hold her, if I hold her and she's like sitting up, like she actually does have some like head control where she'll kind of look around a little bit. Like it's not like a full on like complete control of her head, but she does do it a little bit. And she definitely responds to my voice, and you can definitely tell she's starting to see more because things will like catch her attention. Like if she sees like the cat move, that'll catch her attention and she'll look that way. She loves looking at the Christmas lights on the tree and stuff. She just overall is a very, very good baby, and she is definitely showing growth and milestone markers, and I'm just excited to see, how she continues to grow. And it's so crazy to me that it's been 1 month already. Like that time just went by so fast. Like it's crazy, but I love her. I am loving being a mom so far. Obviously it has its trials and moments. Like there's no such thing as perfect when it comes to being a mom, but overall I'm enjoying it. I love her to death, and I love seeing Matt with her. Matt is an amazing daddy. He will take her anytime, and he does pretty much, and if there's something that I need, he will do it in an instant. And he loves to sit and hold her and cuddle with her, and he's an amazing daddy. He's been amazing to me, and I love and appreciate him so much as my husband too. So yeah, that is everything to update you guys on. And she actually, just so you guys know, she actually turned 1 month yesterday. Yesterday was December 22, so yesterday was when she turned 1 month. Today is the 23rd, so the next couple days are Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. So I want to wish you guys a very Merry Christmas. I hope you guys have a wonderful holiday season, whether you are spending it at home or whether you are getting together maybe with just a couple of family members. I hope you have a wonderful Christmas, and if I don't make a video before the end of the new year, also a Happy New Year. And let's just say, goodbye to 2020, right? Because I don't think there's anyone out there that is just like, yes, 2020 has been the best year ever. Like, it is what it is. So thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys so, so much. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Bye.